Good evening and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV, your destination for discussions on politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. Tonight, defection of the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, from the ruling All Progressive Congress to the Social Democratic Party has sent shockwaves across the nation's political landscape, with the SDP describing his entry as a significant value addition. Though El-Rufai's defection did not come as a surprise to many due to his existing cold war with the party and his successor Obasani in Kaduna, his realignment is seen as the beginning of anticipated mass defections towards a formidable party that will wrestle power from the incumbent APC, both at the center and subnational levels. We engaged with the national chairman of the SDP, Shehu Musa Gabam, on the major political catch in Nigeria. But first we go to Rivers State, where a major political showdown is brewing as the state APC has asked Governor Sim Fubara to resign or face impeachment, just as the political crisis in the state escalates, with the 27 lawmakers loyal to former Governor Wike issued warrant of arrest to the state resident electoral commissioner Justice Adolphus Enebili over his refusal to appear before them. And in the studio here, we have our group politics editor, Clement Oloyede, to shed light on happenings in Rivers State before we delve into the national crisis, bedeviling the APC that led to the defection of El-Rufai. Mr. Clement, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. I don't really know where to start in Rivers. It's like the crisis is multifaceted. Just from what I said, look at now the state chapter of APC asking the governor, who is of PDP, to resign, that he has no option. You are our politics editor. What do you make of that?
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised when they had that statement today. But for those that have been following the development in Rivers from last year, it came as little or no surprise to them, because the last we heard of the 27 lawmakers as far as their party alliance was that they've defected to the APC. So it is on that note that the APC chairman feels is speaking from, that these 27 lawmakers are their members. And from what we saw today, what he was saying is that he doesn't need to tell the lawmakers what to do. If the governor doesn't resign, there are a lot of grounds that they can use. And some of these grounds that some analysts of the development of Rivers have been suggesting is that they could just simply say that he has been appropriating, spending Rivers money without appropriation. They could count that as one of the grounds of misconduct for impeachment. So as the situation stands now, it's more or less like the governor of Rivers State is caught between Pharaoh and the Red Sea. So this next line of actions will really determine whether he will survive this first term or whether whether his impeachment is looming.
Okay, well, still on what the APC chairman said, we know, of course, during Second Republic and all that, leaders, chairmen of political parties, and national or at the state, they're very, very powerful. It's like we are seeing that coming back in Rivers State for one reason or the other.
I think what the APC chairman is saying, or what he's doing at the moment, does not really translate to the power of the party in the state that much. What do I mean by this? What the man is basically just saying now is more like he's translating or saying what everybody expects will be the next line of action of the lawmakers. Immediately, the Supreme Court made the decision. The first thing they did was to give the governor a 48-hour ultimatum to present the budget. When you've issued someone an ultimatum, you have already started telling that if you don't do this, we have some things lined up to do for you, against you. And few hours after, or few days after, they issued an ultimatum again against the State Electoral Commission chairman.
Yes.
Who had set date for local government election. Yes.
They asked him following the Supreme Court judgment.
And today, let's people forget that part of, what I said is that these are just processes that are already unfolding. So what the APC chairman said was like explaining what people expect that is going to happen. And today, before I forget, the same assembly has issued a warrant of arrest against the Rivers Electoral Commission chairman.
Yes.
This,
because he refused
to appear before them,
yes,
or refused to come to explain, because they asked him to come and explain how the situation around the 2024 local government election. That was the cause of this thing. But for those that have been adding one together for Rivers, this is just like going after the appointees of the governor. First, you remember last week they said the governor should submit all the names of appointees, the cabinet members.
Yes.
So invariably they are just saying at the moment that the governor does not have a functional cabinet, because the constitution allows the governor to appoint, but it needs their approval.
Yes.
So everything that is happening, you could say that the APC chairman is only saying the obvious, that okay, if you don't resign,
we have an option.
We have an option.
But then, very important, you covered the judiciary elaborately, yes, before you ventured as a full-blown political reporter, right? Yes. Now, you know that in the eye of law, those lawmakers have not defected, right? Going by, I'm taking it to you. Yes, that they are members of PDP.
I must admit at this moment that I have not had the opportunity to read the full judgment, yes, of the Supreme Court. But from the analysis I've been seeing online and some of the reports that have been coming out of it, it appears like the Supreme Court said, as far as what is before the court is concerned, yes, there is no evidence to say that they have defected. So it's on that basis that the Supreme Court made its judgment. That's what I've...
To give them cover.
That cover.
This is a political platform. Exactly. And that is why I want us to approach the matter from that perspective.
No,
because many, you said it now in your analysis, and many Nigerians believe that these people have shifted ground.
They themselves said they've shifted ground.
Can you imagine now?
But you know,
what is the role of the judiciary?
But you know, a lot of people, to cut the judiciary some slacks, because I've seen that the judiciary have been receiving knocks left, right, and center. Yes. The courts can only decide what is brought before it.
The proverbial saying that it is not Father Christmas.
It's not Father Christmas.
Unless you ask.
Unless you
ask, they will not give you. Even if they know, the judge will not help you.
The fact that the judges are reading the newspapers, though they are saying social media, does not mean they will make their judgment based on what is on social media.
Somebody must go and prove to them that these lawmakers have defected to.
And based on that, so we should not rule out that the case about defection may still go up to the Supreme Court, because that's what I've been made to understand, that there is a separate case that was filed to challenge their defection. If that also get the accelerated hearing that this one has referred to the budget has gotten, perhaps something might still change. But as of today, based on the Supreme Court judgment, it's crystal clear that the judgment is not saying that they are APC members or they are PDP members. It's just saying that they are the recognized National State Assembly. Yes. And based on that, the governor must do everything constitutionally demanded of him in relation to the assembly.
And going by the state broadcast he did, followed by later he sent to the state assembly yesterday, signed by the Secretary to the state government, inviting them to meet with him today. Around 10 a.m. to sort out some of these things. He even said that all their allowances and all that would be settled. We saw a lawmaker saying that the governor must sign. It's like they have made up their mind, and then they have some powerful forces behind them. Because you know how weak state legislators are. What is behind the strength of these lawmakers?
Well, we can just speculate.
Okay, speculate. Yes, it's a political platform.
Speculation that we're doing is that, first, you have to understand that there's this popular saying that you only negotiate for a position of power.
Yes.
After the Supreme Court judgment, the governor has lost all the negotiation power that he probably thought he had. Now the lawmakers see that, okay, they are the one with the knife and the yam, or the knife and the bread, as the popular say. So on what the lawmakers will ask themselves, on what basis does this man have to summon us, to ask us to come for a meeting? And let's be fair, if truly they've not been having a harmonious relationship, you don't send a letter to the Secretary of the government on Sunday asking them to appear on Monday. It only happens like that, in that kind of where governors and lawmakers have harmonious relationship. But in a situation where they have yes,
and ordinarily maybe he should have asked them that okay, let's meet at so place, because they have demolished the state assembly. They don't even have.
No, you don't expect the governor to leave his government house and say let's meet so place. It's in an ideal situation. The letter there's nothing wrong with the situation, but we know that. There's nothing wrong with the letter, but we know what we have in Rivers is not an ideal situation. Just like I said, we can only speculate. And the speculation is that we all know that the lawmakers are loyal to the FCT minister, who is at loggerhead with the Rivers State government.
You are talking about Wiki.
Wiki, yes. Current FCT minister, yes, on Wiki, who is at loggerhead. So the speculation is that you are asked who is behind the lawmakers. They feel they have the backing of the FCT minister. If you have the backing of the FCT minister, a minister who is believed to have the full backing of the president, because this is not even speculation. The president have said at some fora that Wike is doing very well. What other backing do you need
an endorsement
than that kind of endorsement?
Finally, on this, before we move to El-Rufai, what do you think will happen to the governor? Will he survive this turbulent plane?
At this moment, we can only just it's an interesting. We can speculate, but it's an interesting development. The odds are against the governor. Looking at the current judgment, the odds are against the government, but a political solution is still in the offing. It's still possible. You could still find a way of navigating the situation. The other thing is, in politics, 24 hours is too much for anything to happen. But with the position that the lawmakers are taking, it looks like impeachment is in the offing. And if he's unable to navigate it politically, he has already lost judicially. So if he's unable to navigate the political solution,
that will be the end.
That might be the end.
He might be maybe the shortest appointee. I mean, elected
governor. Maybe in this present dispensation, but before since 1999, we've had shorter ones.
Thank you very much.